Alright, in this week's update, Konami has introduced a new campaign, and with this new campaign, you will be able to get some free highlight card as well as free SHOWTIME card. So in this video, I'll be helping you out with how you can get this free selection contract ticket. Along with that, we'll be giving you the best progression point, best additional skills, as well as the best booster to give to these players. And at the end, we'll also be giving you my verdict on which players to choose from these packs. So without wasting much time, let's head straight into the video. Starting with the campaign via which you'll be getting free selection contract tickets. So the campaign is Brazil and England national team campaign, and this campaign will be there with us for 12 days. So you have 12 days in order to complete the challenges and get these free selection contract tickets. So you'll be getting selection contract in two packs. First pack is Highlight Brazil and England pack, which consists of 10 players. And the second pack in which you'll be getting your selection contract is your SHOWTIME national team, which consists of 4 SHOWTIME cards with special skills. So now let's check out how you can get the free selection contract tickets for these packs. So the first selection contract you'll be getting is for the Highlight Brazil and England pack, for which you just have to log in the game, and you'll be getting one selection contract in this highlight pack. And for getting other selection contract tickets, you need to go to missions, and there you will be finding Campaign Hub Brazil and England national team campaign. And to complete this campaign hub, the condition is to play matches. So in total, you have to play 30 matches starting from 6th of November till 20th of November. So for the first week, you can play 15 matches, and from the next week, that is from 13th of November, the rest of the campaign hub matches will be unlocked and get all the rewards from this campaign. So what all are the rewards? So you'll be getting 12 4,000 experience point trainer, 55,000 GP, and 4 selection contract in Highlight Brazil and England pack. So 1 you're getting by logging and 4 you're getting out here. So you can choose 5 players out of the 10 players that are there in this pack. And next is 100 eFootball coins. And finally the big one, that is 1 selection contract in national team SHOWTIME pack. So out of this 4 SHOWTIME players, you'll be able to nominate or select 1 player. So this was the way through which you can get free selection contract tickets for the campaign and sign some new highlight cards as well as SHOWTIME cards. Now let's proceed forward and check out the best progression point, best additional skill, and the best booster of these players. Starting off with the nominating contract pack. This time's nominating contract pack is named as Highlight Speedsters, and this pack will be there with us for almost 1 month, starting from this Thursday, that is 6th of November, and it will be there with us till 4th of December. And this pack consists of 8 highlight cards, out of which 6 are 5-star cards and 2 are 4-star cards. So firstly, let's check out the best progression point and the best additional skill for nominating contract players. Starting off with the best progression point for Federico Valverde, which would be this. The best progression point for the centre forward goal poacher Luis Openda would be this. The best progression point for the Tottenham centre back Mickey van de Ven would be this. The best progression point for the new right back of Liverpool Jeremy Frimpong would be this. The best progression point for the young centre back of Manchester City would be this. And the best progression point for the Dortmund winger Karim Adeyemi would be this. Now let's check out the additional skills of these players. The best additional skill for the box-to-box Fede Valverde would be this. The best additional skill for the Juventus centre forward Luis Openda would be this. The best additional skill for the Manchester City centre back Kushanov would be this. And finally, the best additional skill for Mickey van de Ven would be this. So with this, we come to an end with the best progression point and best additional skill of these nominating contract players. I've not added the best progression point of 4-star card because their stats doesn't look that good, as well as I've not given skills for Adeyemi and Frimpong because they are inconsistent form players, and giving additional skills for inconsistent form players will be basically waste of your GP and skill token. So now let's move on to the next pack. Now let's check out the best progression point and best additional skill of Highlight Brazil and England pack. The best progression point for the Brazilian whole player Rafinha would be this. The best progression point for the England forward Harry Kane would be this. The best progression point for the England winger Anthony Gordon would be this. The best progression point for the England right back Reece James would be this. Best progression point for the England attacking midfielder Morgan Rogers would be this. Best progression point for Brazilian winger Savinho would be this. Best progression point for the Brazilian winger Gabriel Martinelli would be this. Best progression point for the Brazilian forward João Pedro would be this. The best progression point for the England centre back Mark Guehi would be this. Under these managers, he will be 98 overall rated, and under other managers, he'll be 97 overall rated. Finally, the best progression point for the Brazilian midfielder Gerson would be this. Again, under these managers, his overall rating will be 97 rated, and under another managers, his overall rating will be 96 rated. Now let's check out the best additional skills of all these players. Best additional skill for for Brazilian Rapinha would be this. The best additional skill for the English Harry Kane would be this. The best additional skill for the Brazilian Gabriel Martinelli would be this. The best additional skill for the England Anthony Gordon would be this. The best additional skill for Brazilian Savinho would be this. And finally, the best additional skill for the England Reece James would be this. With this, we come to an end with the best additional skill as well as the best progression point of all these players. I've given the best progression point for all the players but not included the best additional skills, since you can nominate only 5 players from this pack, not all the 10 players. So I've given the best additional skills for the players who are best from this pack. Later on, when I'll be giving you my verdict, I'll be ranking the players, and in that order you can select the players on the basis of your requirement of your squad. Moving on to the final selection contract pack. So the final selection contract pack is the big pack, which is Showtime National Teams pack, which consists of 4 Showtime players, and all 4 Showtime players will come with special skills. So let's check out the best progression point, best additional skill, and best booster to give to these players. Best progression point and the best booster for Bernardo Silva, considering his overall rating, would be this, and considering his stats, would be this. The best progression point and the best booster of Showtime Marquinhos under selective managers. He will not be going 103 under all managers. He'll be going 103 under Q89 team playstyle managers, would be this. And the best progression point for Marquinhos under all 89 team playstyle proficiency manager would be this. Now the best progression point and the best booster for Jordan Henderson, considering his overall rating, would be this, but he will achieve this overall rating under these managers. And the best progression point and the best booster for Jordan Henderson, considering his stats, would be this. The best progression point and the best booster of Robertson would be this. Under these managers, he'll be 103 overall rated, and under other managers, he'll be 102 overall rated. Now, Andy Robertson's best progression point and the best booster in left midfielder position would be this. Now let's check out the best additional skills of all these players. The best additional skills for the England Jordan Henderson would be this. The best additional skills for the Scottish Andy Robertson would be this. The best additional skill for the Brazilian Marquinhos would be this. And finally, the best additional skill for Portuguese winger Bernardo Silva would be this. So now we have come to the final part of the video, which is my verdict on which players you should choose from these packs. So let's check it out. Starting off with nominating contract players. So this pack consists of 8 players. 4-star cards of this pack should be skipped. They are not worth spending your trainers. Rather than wasting your 4-star nominating contract packs on highlight cards, it's better to spend on trending cards because you will be saving trainers. And now talk about the 5-star cards. There are 6 5-star cards in this pack, out of which 2 are inconsistent form, which is Ademi and Frimpong. 3 are standard form, which is Van de Ven, Openda and Kushunov, and 1 is unwavering form, which is Fede Valverde. Ademi and Frimpong are inconsistent form players. I'll not be putting them in the ranking list. My ranking for this pack would be: at number 4 position, it would be Kushunov. At number 3 position, it would be Openda. At number 2 position, it will be Mickey Van de Ven. And at the number 1 position, it will be Federico Valverde. Based on your expiry date of your nomination contract, and for reference, can use the ranking that we have given. Talking about my verdict on this highlight Brazil and England pack. This pack consists of 10 players, out of which 7 players are unwavering form players and 3 players are standard form players. This is your Brazilian Gabriel Martinelli, Brazilian Gerson, and England Reece James. And out of these 10 players, you won't be able to sign all the players because you'll be getting 5 selection contracts from this pack. So I'll be giving you my top 5 ranking for this pack. My 6th pick from this pack would be Gabriel Martinelli. 5th ranked player would be Reece James. The 4th ranked player would be Anthony Gordon. 3rd ranked player would be Savinho. 2nd ranked player would be Harry Kane. And the best player from this pack at number 1 would be Rapinha. So you can use the reference of these rankings for selecting the players from this pack. Now we have come in the final pack, which is the real deal pack, and it is Showtime National Team pack. So this pack consists of 4 players, out of which 3 players are unwavering form player and 1 player is standard form player, which is Andy Robertson. Talking about these 4 players, all the 4 players have very solid stats. I'm surprised to see the stats of Jordan Henderson and Robertson. Marquinhos, we have already seen his performance in game. For the current gameplay, you need faster CDs, and his speed as a center back is a bit low. Bernardo Silva also has a phenomenal stats. As a wide man like wings or left midfield, right midfield, it will be more suitable. Central positions, he lacks a bit of in finishing and kicking power. Now talking about my ranking, at number 4 position, I'll be positioning Bernardo Silva. The number 3 player for me from this pack would be Marquinhos. At number 2 position, I'll be rating Andy Robertson. And the best player from this pack would be the anchorman Jordan Henderson. So with this, we come to an end with everything you wanted to know about these packs. If you still have any doubts, you can feel free to comment in the comment section of this video, or else you can DM us at Instagram as well. With this, we have covered all the parts that you needed to know from this video, and I hope you found the video to be good and informative. If yes, then do hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. Roger takes off.